All right, I'm going to walk you through how I make my YouTube thumbnails for my videos. So I've got a video here loaded into Premiere Pro. I like to use a wide angle shot so I can zoom in a little bit and just kind of search for a good place. I like to use one that's got me playing some kind of crazy chord. And I'm going to click this export frame button. Looks like a camera. So when you pause your video, you're looking at just one frame and you can export that frame as a picture. So I'm going to export this and I'm going to open up Photoshop. So we're going to use Photoshop for this. And I'm going to click New File here. What I want to use is 1280 by 720. So that's kind of the standard size for YouTube thumbnails. And you can adjust that size on the panel to the right here, right here. Create. You just get kind of a blank canvas. And I'm going to find that picture that I just exported. And we're going to load it up. So I just clicked and drug it into the canvas there. So what I want to do is zoom in. So I'm going to grab these corners and just kind of zoom in. And I'm going to move this. I like to have my guitar on one side. And I'm going to put something else here on the other side. Okay, so I'm going to click OK. And you see that I have in my layers view here, I've got a background layer and then I've got this picture. So what I'm going to do is click that picture and I'm going to copy, Control C, Control V, paste, and I get another copy of the same picture. And they're just going to be layered on top of each other. I do want to line them up as best I can. And if you click these eyeballs here, you can hide different layers. So if I hide that top layer, I can see that this one needs to come down just a little bit. And now when I hide it, it looks like it doesn't go anywhere. So that means they're lined up perfectly on one another. So what we're going to do is make one picture blurry. The other picture is going to be in focus. And I'm going to cut out myself playing the guitar in one of these, and I'm going to be in focus, and when I layer these together, the background will be blurry. So it's just a nice look, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So I'm going to hide the top layer, and I'm going to select the second one, and I'm going to make it blurry. So I'm going to go to Filters, and I like to use Blur Gallery. And I like the field blur, and you can kind of adjust this how much blurriness you want to use. So we'll just go with that. It's not terribly important. So you see that one's blurry. And if I view the one that's on top of it, it's perfectly in focus. So now I'm just going to cut myself out of the top picture, and the picture below it will be blurry. So I'll get a nice background blur. So I'm going to click the first layer and I'm going to cut myself out. So the way I'm going to do that is with this pen tool. And I'm just going to draw an outline around myself. You can probably hear my dogs running around like crazy. This part doesn't have to be great. You don't have to be very precise with this. If you do mess up, you can Control Z and back it up. You can undo these. So I'm just going to go around. When I get to the bottom here, I'm just going to put one below the viewing frame and then put one back over here and just kind of start on the other side. It's really easy to go around my head. And then at the end, you're going to click again on that very first mark that you placed, and it kind of completes the shape. So you kind of cut out a polygon. And I'm going to click this button. It says Add Layer Mask. Click it again, and you can see that it has cut me out of the first picture, and what I can see behind is the second picture that I made blurry, and you can see that I'm in focus and the background is blurry. So that's what I was looking for. All right, so now I'm going to double click on that layer. And I get this menu. So you can see that the markings have gone away, and you can see that, you know, this is not perfect. Like I said, it doesn't have to be. Nobody's going to notice. But I am going to add a couple things to kind of make me stand out. So one thing I can do is a drop shadow. So if I click on this drop shadow menu here, I can adjust the shadow. So I can change the angle. I can adjust, you know, how big the shadow is. I don't really want a big shadow. The spread, the distance away. Right, so you don't want to get too far away. All right, so that's shadow, drop shadow, and I also like outer glow. So the outer glow is going to kind of put this glowing outline around. You can see that kind of covers up a lot of the messiness of the cutting tool, you know, the thing that we use to cut out everything. And if I click on that, I can adjust how big that is. You can make kind of a bright outline if you want. Make it kind of really outrageous. I don't want that. I just kind of want a little soft glow there. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And next is I'm going to put a logo on the left side. So whatever game or movie that I'm covering, I want a logo of that game beside me so people know that that's what I'm playing. All right, so in Google, I'm just going to search Baldur's Gate 3 transparent or transparency PNG file. And it's going to give me some images here. And you're going to find one you like. When you see one that's got this checker box gray behind it, that means it doesn't have a background, and that's what you want. You want one that's transparent, that doesn't have a background, and you know, just find one that you like, go download it, and we're going to just load it up into our pictures. So I've already downloaded one, so I'm just going to drag this one in. And you see it's transparent because the background is shining through, so the layers that are below this logo are coming through. This actual file, the logo file, doesn't have a background, so whatever it's on top of, it's going to show through. And we can add effects to this as well. We can add a drop shadow. We can add that outer glow and make it really stand out. You know, as much or as little as we want to do that. We can change different parameters to kind of make it stand out. I like just a little bit of that glow. So that looks kind of good there. And then I'm just going to export this as a PNG file, and I can load it right into YouTube. All right, so I hope this helps you. You know, you can make your thumbnails look however you want to make them look. I don't make them exactly like this every time, so I kind of play around with it myself. But this is a lot of the techniques that I use. So I hope it helps you. All right, see you next time.